Why spend $80 when you only have to spend $20? What are these, Will?
These are the Specialized Road Sports.
Really?
Yeah.
Sport. These are the cheapest 28 millimeter road tires that we could find. These are, I think most would agree, are very high performance 28 millimeter, also clincher road tires. They are the Vittoria Corsas. I think they're about $80 each. Mm-hmm. I want to find out what the actual difference is between these cheap ones and these expensive ones. So we're going to run some tests and answer that question for you. Hang in there. Okay, so how do we actually measure road tire performance? The first one's kind of no duh. It's called rolling resistance. How efficiently does the tire actually roll across the pavement? And for that, the test is quite simple. We are going to do a known course in a known position with a known power, and then we're going to swap tires. And we're going to do the same exact thing with the higher end tires, and we're going to see if in fact the high end tires, you're going to get a performance bump for the money spent. But that's not where the story ends. There's this X factor when it comes to road tire performance that people don't often talk about, and that is how comfortable are you in corners? Because even if a road tire is really fast on the pavement, if it's not grippy, I would not run those fast tires in a crit, for example, where cornering is so important. So for that, we're gonna do test number 2, which is a race to the bottom. Set aside performance. We are right here in front of one of NorCal's famous descents. We're gonna go to the top. We're gonna see who can go down the hill faster. We're gonna try once on the performance $80 road tires, and just like test number 1, we're gonna swap, put on the budget road tires, see who can get down the hill faster. Hang tight. All right, we're back. Will, did you have a good time today?
That was fun. Lots of tires.
I'm tired, bro. We were out there in the cold on the mountain for a long time. We're a hot mess right now. We're a cold mess right now.
We got hungry.
Let's dive into results, though, because I know you guys are wondering what happened. So test number 1, we talked about it. Here, I want to quickly, just really fast, what's unique about Highway 9, Big Basin Highway, where we did this testing, is the descent. First of all, I know it like the back of my hand. And the second thing is it's very unique in that the upper part of the descent is very technical. The second part of the descent is like a straight shot downhill. So coming back to test number 1, this is when we determined the actual performance of the tires. Set aside how they grip, just which one's faster, right? Hit him with it, Will. What was your first run, which was the low end tires? How long was the run on the downhill?
Yeah, so Specialized Road Sports, my run was 2 minutes and 44 seconds on those tires.
Then you came back up. I hopped on the bike. And because you're a chonky boy, I did it in 2:37. Same exact segment. Okay, keep those numbers in mind. We'll show something fancy on the screen right now. Hit them with it, Will. What was the high-end tires? The Vittoria Corsa next, also 28 millimeter. What was your time?
Yeah, those were silky smooth. I did a time of 2 minutes and 36 seconds, so chopped off 8 seconds.
Over just a 2.5 to 3 minute run? That's significant.
That is significant.
That's a lot. I had the same experience. So we have repeatable data here. I had a 2 minute 31 second run on the high-end tires compared to the 2 minute 37. Also, significant savings. We were like mannequins on those bikes. That's what was cool about the second part. But wait, there's more. Test 1, part 2, test 1B, is we hit the lap timers on the way back up the climb, didn't we?
Yeah, turned around.
I'm glad you
came back
thought
up.
of that. That was a good idea.
Get the time in.
So we have more data to show, which is rolling resistance going up a climb is a thing too.
Yeah.
Right? So what do we do? On the way up, we did a seated 300 watts. Again, same exact position on the bike. What did you do on the low end?
Yeah, so stayed at 300 watts. We were both pretty consistent with that. On the low end, Specialized Road Sports, I did an 8 minute and 6 second effort. That 300 watt effort there.
Yeah, and again, I did the same thing. And because you're a chonky boy, apparently, or just had full bottles or something.
Got me.
7 minutes, 46 seconds for me. But now we put on the Vittorias, the high-end $80 tires. What'd you do?
I did 7 minutes and 59 seconds, so lost 7 seconds with those faster tires.
So not as a percentage, it's not as consequential as the downhill, but we're still seeing like real time savings using the higher end tires. So better rolling resistance helps you on uphills as well. I found the same thing. In fact, I found an even greater savings, 7 minutes, 37 seconds compared to my 7:46. So these aren't huge numbers, but you're starting to figure out why you would want to spend $80 on tires versus $20 on tires. Are we ready to talk about test number 2?
Let's look at it. This is a big part of why you buy nice tires.
100%. Okay, what do we have now? I have not grown 4 arms. This is the upper part of Highway 9, and this is a split screen. Okay, so on the top, we have the Vittorias, the $80 tires. On the bottom, we have the $20 Super Sport Sports. And these are matched, synced at the very start of my run. So what's cool about this, again, another fantastic idea by Will, is we can see in real time where the savings are. So again, to remind you guys, this is test number 2. It is a race. We took my chain off. I cannot pedal the bike. So I am not pedaling. I am not getting aero. I am again like a mannequin on this bike. Same position, but we're going to start to see a difference. We're already starting to see a difference, Will. I'm already, a second or 2 ahead on the Vittorias? And we haven't even really started cornering yet.
No, not at all. So you're pulling back time just like you did on that straight descent. You're pulling back time on the straight sections.
Yep.
Just based off rolling resistance.
Yeah, so just like we saw in test number 1, we're seeing that. But you're going to see those gains are going to start to compound as we enter the corners. Because here's the thing. I did not have the highest level of confidence on the Super Sports. They don't feel, again, big part of this might be, it might be just living in my head. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know if there actually is better grip. I suspect there is. It's a higher performant tire. But because it's a higher price tire, I'm going to send it a little bit more on the nicer tires. You know what I mean? Placebo is real is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it is. And I honestly, like, even putting those tires on, you could feel there's just not the same suppleness from the tire. And you felt that on the road. It was just bouncy. Like, you would hit a bump and it would kind of bounce off of it instead of your bike just like rolling through it.
And to remind you guys, these didn't have exactly the same PSI. I can't remember what they were. I'll put them on the screen right now. But we optimized, according to the Silica calculator, the optimal tire pressure for each tire, because it's not, even though they're both 28, it is not just the tire size and the road surface, it is also the tire compound that determines the optimal PSI. So, yes, the Vittorias felt more supple on the road. How much of that is in my head, I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say that it was night and day, but I felt a little sendier in the corners, and that's borne out in the data because now look at the gains. Like, we just went through a pretty curvy section, and now I'm, 4 seconds ahead, something like that.
Yeah, you just consistently pulled back time on yourself with those supple tires, and you can see it right there.
Can I talk, too, about mounting a wire bead? Yeah. Dude, it brought me back to, 2013. Like, it's been a long time since I ran wire beads. I think I used to do the gator skins.
Yep.
And I have rubbed the skin right off my thumbs on the side of the road, 40 miles from home. Like, it really brought me back nostalgic in not the best type of way, but it was cold out there today, and getting those Super Sports on and off was a bit of a chore.
Yeah, I kind of want a tire machine for those like you would on a car. But those, the bead on the Vittoria is super easy to get on if you were on the side of the road.
That's not nothing, right? When you're cold and you're on the side of the road and you just want to get back on the bike and start riding, if you're wrestling with a wire bead, ugh. So that's something too that you're paying for. That's the part of the premium package with the Vittorias. Both of these are clinchers, right? Neither of these are tubeless. Not all clinchers are created equally. And coming back to the footage here, we're pulling pretty far ahead now. We're going to hit one more technical section. This corner we're approaching right here, this right-hander, it's the second kind of hairpinny thing. And folks who know Highway 9 locals, comment down below your favorite corner up here. This one's mine. You can really lean into it. So you can see me kind of leaning into it here in the upper camera. That's the Vittoria. And then, moments later, can't really tell a difference, but the confidence was there. Trust me, on the day, the upper camera, I was feeling a lot better on the Vittorias.
Yeah, you can load up those tires pretty well, and they give you a feedback that you can handle and kind of understand in your brain, whereas it felt like the Specialized tires, you couldn't consistently predict what they were going to do in that corner.
Right. Little less chattery, I noticed too, which probably lends to the rolling resistance. It was a smoother ride. I don't know if the GoPro's going to pick the Hyper Smooth or whatever they call it these days is so good. I'm not sure it's going to quite pick it up in the footage, but it did feel better. That's the type of thing. It seems small, but over the course of a long road race or a long training ride or something like that,
it makes a pretty big difference. We're getting close to the end here. Final couple of corners. You can see I'm getting ready to press the lap timer here on the Vittorias, and there's a stick on the side of the road. There it is. Run number 1 done on the top. We've got some meat on the bone on the bottom here.
Yeah.
And you can really see the difference here. I mean, it's like a couple 100 meters or something done on the bottom. So don't just take our word for it. We could sit here and wax poetic about the differences between tire compounds. But yeah, for all those reasons we mentioned, and then the time savings we saw, it's kind of a no-brainer for me. It's $80 well spent. What is this expression about contact points on the bike?
Yeah, you're only making contact with the ground with that tire. That's the only place your bike is touching the ground, and that's an important interface right there.
Absolutely. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below if you want to see more like this. It's always a blast hanging out with Will, spending a day out on the bike. Great having you on, buddy.
It was a blast.